All right. Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining us today as we kick off the partnership to accelerate training and hiring for geothermal heat pumps. My name is Rachel Buck. I am the prize lead with American Made Challenges program. Some housekeeping before we dig in. I want to let you all know that this webinar is being recorded. We will be posting the video by the end of the week. On the HeroX page, we will be collecting questions and we'll provide a document with Q&A from the session on HeroX as well. So please use the Q&A function on your screen. And then if you have any technical difficulties, please let us know by using the chat function. This prize is being run through the American Made program, which launched in 2018 with a mission to accelerate innovation and entrepreneurship through prize challenges and a nationwide network of public-private partnership and support. Through the American Made program, the U.S. Department of Energy has been working to foster the innovation ecosystem by providing funding for basic and advanced research and development, community collaboration, and workforce development, alongside targeted funding that can help critical early-stage innovation cross those valleys of death and introduce new innovators to government funding. Since our launch, the Department of Energy has funded more than $400 million in cash prizes and support over 90 prizes. We're so excited to have you here today and hope to see some new bold ideas come to life. The Partnership to Accelerate Training and Hiring for Geothermal Heat Pumps, or GHP PATHs, is funded by the Department of Energy's Geothermal Technologies Office to promote the growth and sustainability of geothermal heat pump industry, specifically around workforce barriers. Key workforce barriers identified include the certification process for GHP design, installation, and inspection. These may be complex and require specialized knowledge, making it difficult for individuals to obtain certification. Certification programs and apprenticeships can be costly to develop and implement, especially for smaller organizations or communities with limited resources. There may be a shortage of training programs and educational resources focused on GHP systems, which will limit the number of individuals who can become certified or gain the experience they need through apprenticeships. Collaboration between industry stakeholders, certification bodies, and educational institutions can also be lacking, which hinders the development and implementation of effective certification, training, and apprenticeship programs. The GHP PATHs prize is a three-phase prize with a prize pool of $3 million. This prize aims to address those key workforce barriers in the GHP industry and promote continued and sustainable growth. We plan to support partnerships formed by organizations that are actively involved in workforce development, such as workers' rights organizations, certification and training providers, industry associations, employers, nonprofits, unions, accelerators, municipalities, utilities companies, and many more. Ultimately, we will be awarding efforts aimed at training and hiring geothermal heating and cooling experts across the U.S. To be eligible for this prize, the lead organization must be U.S.-based, whether that's a private entity, academic institution, citizen, or legal permanent resident. We do not allow submissions from federal entities or employees, or any DOE contractor or national lab employee or direct family member. We have provided a full eligibility list on page 7 and 8 of the official rules document. Additionally, we want to note that you may only be the lead organization for one proposal. Lead organizations are responsible for the submission, will receive the funding, and may only submit one proposal. Partner organizations may appear on several submissions. There are a variety of partnership opportunities for this prize that we want to encourage you to look at. Workers' unions, drilling companies, traditional HVAC companies, inspection services, municipalities, colleges or trade schools, design firms, current GHP installers, GHP manufacturers, and many more can be part of your partnership. You don't need to limit yourself on which partners you bring or how your partnership looks. We just need you to remember that the end goal is to accelerate the training, certification, and hiring for geothermal heat pump workforce members. whether that is to upskill similarly skilled workers, training new workforce members, or combining these opportunities. We want to see unique pipeline development that fits the needs of your unique community or region. As mentioned, this is a three-phase prize. Phase 1 Connect will ask competitors to describe their vision for building a sustainable pathway to training and hiring the next generation of geothermal heat pump workers. At the end of this phase, we will award up to 20 teams $40,000, and these teams will be eligible to compete in Phase 2. In Phase 2 Engage, teams will propose a realistic workforce development program with both a training plan and hiring strategy. At the end of Phase 2, we will award up to 8 teams $150,000 each, and they will be eligible to compete in Phase 3 Execute. The final phase is where competitors will share their workforce program results and plans or changes for future implementation. Winners of this round will receive a portion of the remaining $1 million prize pool. So how do we get started? In Phase 1, we ask that teams submit 4 documents, specifically the cover page, summary slide, narrative document, and letters of support or commitment. The cover page should be a quick glance of your project: title, partnership name, short description including location and key members. The summary slide, which will be made public, should be a PowerPoint slide or similar that provides a summary of the project goals. The narrative document is the main focus of this phase and should include answers to the following. We want to see an introduction of your partnership and partner organizations with your shared mission, vision, and goals. We want to see that you've defined the region where your partnership is aiming to extend your workforce program. This could be at the level of a town, county, city, state, or multi-state. We are leaving it up to the competitors to define their own region. We want you to describe your region's current adoption of GHP technologies. Describe the GHP workforce and the workforce gaps and needs faced by GHP deployment in your region. We want to see that your partnership can demonstrate or your partners have experience in at least one of the fields of heating and cooling, drilling or earthwork, community development, or workforce training and hiring. We want to see that your partnerships represent relative stakeholders in your region, including labor and community organizations and any impacted tribal entities. We'd like to see that you've identified staff and other resources required to complete a sustainable workforce development program in your region, that you've demonstrated access to or plan to obtain the identified resources. And finally, we want to see that you've identified how, if successful, your partnership's proposal would support GHP deployment within the U.S. Please note that the narrative section should not exceed 2,500 words and has a limit of 5 images, tables, figures, or graphs. The fourth and final component of the submission is the letter of support or commitment. These should be letters from partners that are critical to the success of your project, demonstrating their support of your plan or intent to work with your organization in future phases. The letters of support should be combined into one PDF document for upload. The deadline for this phase is February 12th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can start your submission early on HeroX and make edits up until the deadline. Please note that your submission will not automatically submit at that time, so please make sure you hit submit and receive the confirmation email from HeroX. After the deadline, we will begin scoring the received submissions. Each piece of your submission will be scored accordingly. The cover page is worth 5%, summary slide 5%, narrative document 70%, and letters of support or commitment will be 20%. Every submission will be reviewed by a panel of subject matter experts. These experts will give their scores as indicated on the last slide and provide constructive comments. We will collect and aggregate the scores and provide all feedback to the DOE office and designated judge. The final determination of winners by the judge will take into account the reviewer's feedback and scores, as well as the application of any program policy factors. Winners of Phase 1 will be able to participate in Phase 2 Engage. Here we hope to see competitors formalize their partnerships, analyze the specific GHP workforce needs of their region, and propose a realistic workforce development plan, which will include the training plan and hiring strategies. At the end of Phase 2, up to 8 winners will receive $150,000 and be eligible to compete in Phase 3. In Phase 3 Execute, only open to Phase 2 winners. In this phase, competitors will provide the results of their program to date, including numbers of workers trained, certified, and hired. Additionally, we hope to see plans for continued program support. Winners of this phase will receive a portion of the remaining $1 million prize pool. Project support. American-Made Challenges has enlisted the help of a power connector ensemble to help our competitors through this process. Their support is free of charge, and we encourage you to use them as a resource. We will be posting their contact information in the resources section in the HeroX page. You can see that and other resources available on the HeroX page, which is www.herox.com/GHP PATHs. By clicking Solve this challenge and following the prize, you will receive email alerts to resources and other updates. As mentioned at the start of the webinar, we will be collecting questions and posting them in a Q&A document on the HeroX page. So please use the Q&A function on this call to ensure that we get your questions. And if you have any additional questions, please email our team at GHPPaths@nrel.gov or use the forum section on the HeroX page. Thank you. One of the questions is, will the presentation be made available to participants? And yes, the presentation will be made available. We will include both the slides and the recording of this webinar. All right, thank you, everyone. As I said, we will be collecting these questions and providing answers in a Q&A document. If you need to email us or ask other questions as we move forward, please feel free to use ghppaths@nrel.gov, or as I said, the forum section in the HeroX page. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you all compete. Thanks.